Support court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB1085, Campbell case.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, ladies, you may be seated. I'm Judge Brian D. Woodard, and ma'am, you brought this case before me. Matter of fact, before I get started on anything, I see your both last names are Campbell.
Yes.
But I'm mistaken. So what is your first name?
Kelly Campbell.
Kelly Campbell.
Yes.
And you, ma'am?
I'm Rochelle, but you can.
This courtroom is about to erupt as blood turns against blood in a brutal custody battle. Kelly versus Rochelle, two cousins locked in a Geikie no-holds-barred fight over a 6-year-old boy. Kelly isn't holding back. She just calls out Rochelle, painting her as an unfit mother, who recklessly dumps her child in dangerous situations just to chase her own selfish lifestyle. But Rochelle isn't going down without a fight. She fires back hard, insisting she has everything under control, even if her parenting choices raise eyebrows or full-blown alarms. This case spirals high fast, and the truth that comes out, let's just say you won't see it coming. Now let's settle this. If a family member was neglected,
Because if I forget it, it's ruin Kelly. All right, so let's get started. So go ahead and tell me about this.
My name is Kelly Campbell.
leaving a child in a 105 degrees heat with nothing but a gym fan, that's not just poor judgment, it's dangerously careless. But here's the real question. Does this give Kelly the legal right to take custody? Custody battles aren't won just because parenting is questionable. The court needs solid proof of neglect or real danger. So, is Rochelle just making a few bad calls? Or is this a serious failure to provide basic care? What do you think? Should lacking AC and proper education be enough to lose custody? Or is that crossing the line? Drop your opinions.
He has to offer. I brought my cousin to court because she's attempting to want to get involved in her son's life all of a sudden. But her choices, they're poor. She has childish behavior, and she's not taking care of her responsibilities. Simple.
She's not taking care of her responsibilities. How many, does she have children with you, or living with you, or?
She has a son, 6 years old.
6 years old?
Yes.
And so what makes her childish?
She's just,
Girl,
she
I'm
wanna be in
grown.
these streets. She's
Girl,
from
Hold on one second. We're going to get to that
I'm
part.
real grown.
Okay, Miss Grown. One thing about it is grown people don't have to tell other grown people that they're grown. So just wait till I get to you, and then we're going to go ahead and get this train moving. But I'm going to get to
Kelly isn't holding back. She's laying it all out in court. No air conditioning in triple-digit heat, a barely working fan, warm, unrefrigerated Capri Suns, no education plan for the child. But it doesn't stop there. She claims Rochelle has completely neglected her child's education, leaving his future hanging by a thread. In the eyes of the law, it's not just about bad parenting. It's about safety. Judges won't hesitate if there's proof that a child's well-being is at risk. But here's where things get interesting. Can Rochelle turn the tables?
Let's go.
If you could change the R to a H. But the point, what I'm saying is,
We're not going there, but go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and over like
Emotions
that.
are high.
I understand, but let's go ahead and get to business.
she's childish because she chooses to mix up her priorities.
Okay.
It's not flying, Your Honor. Her child, it's about 105 degrees. She has no AC. She has a gym fan circulating in the home.
The window was cracked. The window was cracked.
Ladies, let me go ahead and get something straight right here, because I just wanted this to go smoothly. And I know how ladies are sometimes. Y'all like to talk and get your point across, and you're going to be heard. I promise you're going to be heard. But being heard this way, it's not going to fly. So let's go ahead and continue without any interruptions. Ms. Rowe,
Got it.
when it's time for you to go, I will go back to you, Ms. Rowe.
Yes.
But for right now, please keep quiet. Can we do that? Let's get this show back on the road.
Thank you, because she's rude.
I didn't ask about what she is. I'm just asking you to go ahead and continue to tell me what you're going to do.
I stand corrected.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Let's go.
I apologize. As I mentioned, her 6-year-old is in very poor conditions. Circulating hot air with hot air is not going to fly. As I mentioned, the temperatures are high. She leaves a bowl of noodles chicken flavor for her son, Capri Suns that aren't refrigerated. The child is so behind educationally. All he know how to do is whoa. It's just a lot going on. I don't like it, and I am going to be the provider for her child. And that's it. Point blank.
Okay.
Hold up. Did Rochelle really just admit to leaving her 6-year-old home alone for 2 hours? Just to go on a date? And her reasoning? She was out looking for a stepdad over a pork chop special. I've heard some wild defenses in court, but this might be top-tier ridiculous. Forget taking the cake. Rochelle just served up the pork chop excuse of the year.
Her child, Caleb.
Okay.
And I would like her to pay me since she wants other men to pay her. But that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there anything else you would like to tell me before I move on to Ms. Rose?
I want you to see that she's truly childish, lax.
I didn't ask for insults. I said, is there anything that you want to tell me?
I didn't know that was an insult. It's really factual. No, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see, this is going to be a challenge. Whew, don't you know? Miss Rowe, let's go. Continue this show.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, so they keep saying I'm crazy, right? They took my baby from me and gave it to her because I had a little date. I spent the block. I left him at the house by
You spent the what?
The block. We went to Perry's. Me and his, he was tall, dark, and handsome. But I was gonna bring him a pork chop special back. So I went on this little date, left him at the house by himself. I gave him some new.
This is where the judge finally steps in, and not a moment too soon. Leaving a child alone in scorching heat with nothing but a wobbly fan and a cracked window? That's not just bad judgment, it's flat out dangerous. And the judge doesn't sugarcoat it. This child is not a pet. If this case had landed in Child Protective Services, it could have triggered an emergency intervention on the spot. The big question now, will Rochelle finally realize how serious this is?
Like 2 hours. We
2
had
hours.
reservations, so we're gonna get right in.
So you made reservations and you left your child with her for just 2 hours. Was it just for that night?
It was not 2 hours, Your Honor. It was 6
Okay.
hours
All right.
plus 2 bonus hours because
Okay.
she wanted to have a rendezvous.
All right, hold on a second. Okay, continue this. Yeah, this
Thank
is
you.
initial. I really want to hear this one.
She think 'cause she got a pool.
Well,
in her
I ain't
backyard.
worried about that. Let's get to the facts.
Okay,
Go ahead.
sorry. So I spent the block, ran to the Bears with the fella, you know what I'm saying? He was fine. Okay. So look, I'm trying to get him a stepdad. I was gonna bring him back a pork chop special. Have you had one of them Paris pork chops?
You trying to get a
It's like
stepdaddy?
this big.
Listen,
It's-
you're trying to go and get a stepdaddy
For the baby.
for a pork chop with a pork chop. Is
I
that
was
how?
gonna bring him the pork chop back.
And so you expect him to be stepdaddy because you brought him bringing a pork chop because you were bringing. I want him to be
I'm
my
bringing the
stepdaddy.
baby.
So maybe if I give him a pork chop, he gonna be my.
I'm bringing the baby back a pork chop.
Oh, the
He
baby,
said-
you bringing the baby a pork
I
chop,
went
not
on
the man
date.
a pork chop.
No, the man was gonna buy the baby a pork chop.
Okay.
That's how I'm taking care of him.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, man.
So me and the man went out to dinner. I get back, they all, you're not supposed to leave your baby here, this and this and this. I'm like, he's 6 years old. He got some noodles. He got a couple of Capri Suns. I cracked